Happy Fragrant Friday, fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new review. How are you doing, my friends? I hope you are doing well. My name is Ben, of course. This is That Cologne Guy, the channel that brings you new content every single Friday. My channel is a little bit different in the sense that, number one, I have long episodes. Number two, I bring content every Friday. I know I'm supposed to do it like every 48 hours. Number three, I just really enjoy having a conversation one-on-one with you, the viewer, about this fragrance, whatever fragrance I'm reviewing on any given week. I know the top 10s do better, and the shorter episodes do better, but I just really enjoy experiencing a fragrance throughout the week and then talking about it with you. Quick note, thank you very much. Shout out to Dr. Goo over at Locked Scents for sending in this scent. Okay, so you've seen the title and the description, so you know this week I am checking out none other than, I'm going to show you, but you won't be able to see it because it's already dyed. The print can't be seen. Got a little wet. Chypre Fulminare. Chypre Fulminare. Can't quite see it, can you? There we go, a little bit. It's still left. So there's a lot to talk about this week about the name, the house, the who founded the house, and the nose, the parfumé. So there's a lot going on before I dive into the notes. Let me just say quickly, this is from the United Kingdom. This is from England and Scotland because there are two guys that founded the house. That is Dan Naughton and Matt Wilson. That's why it's called, you guessed it, Naughton and Wilson. Now, you know one of them, actually, because Dan Naughton is on YouTube. He's a YouTube reviewer, a famous fragrance reviewer, and he is Mr. Smelly that's him, 1977. I see you shaking your head in agreement. Dan Naughton is Mr. Smelly 1977, and he founded this house, co-founded, I should say, with entrepreneur or businessman Matt Wilson from Scotland. So this is truly a United Kingdom endeavor. Now, those are the two that founded the house. Now, the parfumé is John Stephen. This is my first fragrance with John Stephen, and I will say he left a great impression because this is very well blended. This is a well done fragrance. It is from 2023, and now let's talk about the name a little bit. So the category, of course, is Chypre. So Chypre is pronounced in English. It's a French word, but it's pronounced in English Chypre. So it looks like sheep dash R-U-H, right? R-U-H, excuse me. So it looks like Chypre. All right? And Chypre in French means cypress. So this is a category of fragrance that refers to cypress-like smells, fragrances, scents. Oftentimes, at least I tend to think kind of late 70s, early 80s, like the powerhouses, the ones with a very distinct smell, kind of English leather type fragrances that really, really have, for some of us, it could be grandfather for me, great-grandfather perhaps for you, but it takes you back to definitely an older time in perfumery. So Chypres personally tend to be real hit and miss for me. Chypres, I have a lot that I've absolutely loved, and then I do have some that are relegated to the old folks home / 1970s carpet cat piss fragrances with the castoreum. So the animalic quality and the oak moss, it can be old folks home-esque, and it can also be, unfortunately, cat pissy, which, so for me, I definitely have a very, fork in the road kind of experience with the Chypres. Now, this one is Chypre Fulminare. And now Chypre means, of course, cypress, as I said. And then Fulminare is from Latin, and it means to strike with lightning. And it means that in the literal sense, fulminare was used in the literal, but also in the figurative sense in medieval Latin. It was often used when the church would make a strong condemnation against something, so a strong statement against something with lots of emotion, lots of power, and a lot of force, figuratively. And so whenever the church would shoot down something, a lot of times they would use fulminare as a verb there. So it could be in the literal sense or the figurative sense, either one. So Chypre, fulminare on the name. So a lot to digest there. Let's get to the notes now. This is a 2023 release, and I'll quickly say this is $155 on Lucky Scent for 100 milliliter or full bottle, 3.3 or 4 ounce. So really right in the sweet spot. Now for the notes. In the top, the initial blast, you get ylang ylang and a lot of citrus. Now, 2 weeks ago, I reviewed Om Marine by Kenzo, and I talked about how the ylang ylang kind of didn't know its place, especially in the initial blast. It really stood out, and I would have liked it toned down a little bit more. This one is an example of a fragrance where it is toned down. So the initial blast for me is just utterly fantastic. And then after that, in the mid, you get pepper, incense, and leather. And then we move on to the 3 that I got in the base were vetiver, oak moss, and castoreum, our old friend, the cat piss, animalic scent. And then there were 2 more that I would not have gotten that I saw labdidum. I would not have guessed that. And then the other one was a tinge of ambergris. So let's talk about the different notes here. I really appreciate how well this is blended. This one is ylang ylang, but it's got the lemon, it's got the, I think, lime, and then I think it is orange, if I'm not mistaken. But it's clearly a citrus, very well balanced fragrance right from the get-go. Then the pepper and incense and leather heats up, and I really like the fact that, again, I would say it's a little bit heavy on the pepper incense in a good way. And then the leather is toned down, again, as a complement to the parfumé. Then we get into the good stuff. We get into vetiver, oak moss, and the castoreum. And the castoreum, of course, is, again, the cat piss element is definitely kept at bay. So the animalic quality of it is not a deterrent from it at all. So if you don't like animalic fragrances, I still think you would like this one because I just like the way this one is well blended. All right, I like the way it is blended. So this is a modern take on a late 70s, early 80s Chypre. It is, and it successfully pulls it off, actually. So those are the notes, and I would just say overall, it just really smells it takes you back to kind of the gray flannel, English leather times of the early 80s for some of us. It is, again, cypress. Chypre means cypress in French, so it is cypress-like, and it also has, of course, a lot of vetiver, very masculine fragrance, a lot of oak moss, and then the castoreum, the animalic element, is kept at bay. So overall, this one is a very, very well done surprise for me in the sense that I give it a glowing review. I am dry as a bone because I absolutely loved wearing this fragrance. This was great. This was something I would not have ever, requested. I didn't think it would be necessarily my thing. You guys know it's the difference between mature and old man / old folks home is very close, right? It's a fine line. And this one definitely falls into the mature in a positive Sean Connery. Maybe it's because Matt Wilson from Scotland is the businessman for the house, but it does have a very James Bond or Roger Moore. I know a lot of you don't like Roger Moore as for James Bond. I did, actually. So think Sean Connery, think Roger Moore, whoever your favorite James Bond man is. In fact, you could let me know if you have nothing else to comment on. This would be perfect for James Bond, actually, because it does have a distinguished English gentleman air to it. It's probably just marketing, but I actually really think it does. My daughter said this was a grandfather scent. So this is going to be subjective. I do not feel like it's ready for... to me, it doesn't speak... retirement home. To me, it speaks to I am established in my field. I am confident at what I do. I'm wise, and I'm cool under fire. That's what I mean. It's a very James Bond, actually, kind of scent. And I'm not just saying that because he is also British. It is a coincidence, but hey, It's a great connection, actually. I'm going to give myself props for that. So there you have it. There's that for element to it. Now I'm going to we're just going to get to more good news. And I'm going to tell you right now at the 11-minute mark that this is a 5 out of 5 rating in my 5 spray system. Partly because the longevity projection in sillage is just exactly what you would want it to be. In fact, if you wear this on, you spray on your neck near your clothes and a little bit gets on your clothes. If you get up the next day and even walk near that shirt, like if you wear a white undershirt, for example, if you can get near those, you will smell that the next day. So I really know that this is excellent in all 3 categories. I don't even know if I need to really define all 3. I guess I can if you want, but it's a 10 plus hour on longevity. And then sillage, walking past people, is going to be 6, 7, 8 hours, if not more. I thought it was fantastic. And then projection would be, so if we're looking at 3 feet or 1 meter from the body, man, I'm going to go 6 to 10 hours. I mean, this is a powerhouse, and this one is not for the meek. And it's great though. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful fragrance, and I will miss this one because it was a great week. As you can tell, it didn't last too long. So, man, let's keep going with the categories, but you can see I'm having a hard time finding any sort of weaknesses here. When it comes to age, you're looking at 40 plus, undoubtedly. Maybe even 50, but let's just say 40 plus. This is a mature scent. As far as gender, I'm going to go with the oak moss and castoreum and vetiver and incense and pepper and leather. I'm going to go 95.5. I think that could be my highest one. This one is definitely a man's fragrance, and I would say 95% of the people who own it, who wanted it, and it's their signature scent, will be men, and 5% will be women. This is another fragrance where I could see a lot of women spraying it on their own shirt or something, just to remind them of their man. It's one of those fragrances. It does have that element to it, which I really appreciate. The confidence factor is very high in this fragrance. It just really jumps out to me. Every time you smell yourself, or even you can just pick it up naturally, it just has that certain je ne sais quoi. Since it's a British fragrance, I really should come up with an English expression, but it really does have that. So that certain something, it would be the expression. So that's the age, that's the gender. Season would be, it's going to come down to whether or not you like Chypres, but this is really more of a winter, and then after that, I would say fall. And then after that, even we usually combine them, but I would say definitely winter, then fall, maybe spring, and then the Chypres are a little tough, a little cloying in hot climate for sure. But in the end, as far as versatility, though, this is going to be one of those fragrances that really does come down to, as I've said before, whether or not you like Chypres. If you're looking for something see, here's the thing. I like the oak moss quality as it's blended with this kind of aftershave barber element to it too. That might be the citrus and combining with the ambergris. I'm not exactly sure, but it just has a little bit of everything for me. I was surprised by the citrus. Very, very good work there in the initial blast to blend that with the ylang ylang, and then really hit us hard in the mid with the pepper, incense, and leather. Outstanding. What can I say? So as far as versatility, we are going to just say it's really comes down to, do you like Chypres or not? If you want to smell like the late 70s, early 80s, kind of especially, nowadays everyone's walking around with mullets and listening to, Journey, Don't Stop Believing, and all the 80s is back. So maybe you might, and maybe it's retro for you. It will definitely work, because it is, I will politely disagree with somebody who says this one is too old manny, or this one is for the old folks home. Or even a grandma scent. I definitely do not think so. I think it succeeds as being a modern take on the confident male for someone established in their field, ready to take on all the problems in the world at any given moment, combined with kind of a retro feel to the early 80s. So I tip my cap, literally, to Dan Naughton, Mr. Smelly 1977. So, along with Matt Wilson. So these two have combined for quite a good impression, I must say. A first impression has been outstanding, actually. And I am going to go 5 out of 5 sprays. And really all I can say is I wouldn't give it a 6 out of 5, my elusive bonus spray, probably just because it is quite mature and it's not for everyone. That's all I can come up with, though. Quite frankly, I really enjoyed this fragrance. It was wonderful to wear. It was a true joy. So this one is 5 out of 5. They will be faux sprays. I will go 1 on each side of the neck, 1 on each wrist, and 1 on the emblem. But again, these are faux sprays. If you really want to know my scent of the day today, it is Issey Miyake. So L'Odyssée by Issey Miyake, our old friend from the 90s. I couldn't resist. And just taking this cap off, wow, this is very powerful. This is a powerhouse fragrance. They did not skimp on the longevity, projection, and sillage. Mr. Smelly 1977, if you're watching, good for you, mate. All right, here we go. 5 out of 5 for this 2023 pleasant surprise. Boom. Actually, I did have a little there. Boom. Huh. Boom. And most definitely, I had enough that maybe if it combines with L'Odyssée, if I get any compliments today, maybe I'll blend those two, and that's how I'll make my millions. You take care. You have a wonderful week. I always enjoy sitting down and talking with you about a particular fragrance. Again, thanks so much, Dr. Gu over at Locked Sense. This was a fun one. Let me know, do you like Chypres? What is your favorite Chypre? If you don't have too much to say about that, let me know your scent of the day and or scents of the week. And if nothing else, always let me know, of course, your favorite James Bond. Every time I see the survey online, it's always listed that Roger Moore is the least favorite. I like Roger Moore, okay? I like Roger Moore, and I'm standing by that. Honorable mention, of course, is the man, not the myth himself, Sean Connery. So this would be perfect for James Bond. So you guys have a great week. Take care. And always remember, my friends, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. And if you really want to know, the sprays at the end of my episode where I have the booms as I do that, that was inspired by himself, Dan Naughton, Mr. Smelly 1977. He did something similar, and so I enjoyed that, and so I started to do that in my review.